Zimbabwe, also known as Miss Rach, the Radio Diva. And I'm here to tell you my story about COVID-19. So, I didn't know I had COVID-19 for a long while. I started experiencing flu-like symptoms, and the symptoms actually got worse with each day. So the first symptoms I actually experienced was basically, a little bit of a sore throat, and then I started having some chest pains. My body was extremely painful, and I was weak, and I felt tired, for most part of the day. So I'd spend it in bed. I just simply thought it was just a cold. I thought it was just a flu, and I thought it would just go away. And, I was just ignoring it. It's strange how you can actually have COVID-19 and you can have the symptoms, but it doesn't register in your brain that you need to go get tested. It was this one day when I was really not feeling well, and it had been about 4 days and I wasn't feeling too well. I didn't know if my temperature was high, if I had a fever, because I couldn't really tell. But I actually went outside and I slept on the floor, and I started crying because the pain was a bit too much. My chest was really painful. I was finding a bit of, breathing a bit difficult because of the chest pains. I had a constant headache all the time, and, it was just horrible. And I couldn't understand what type of a flu is this that doesn't go away, because I'd been taking your lemon, your ginger, your garlic, your hot teas, but nothing seemed to work at that particular time. So I went to the doctors, and they did what they call a rapid test. This rapid test is the blood test. The antibodies hadn't registered then, so it came out as negative. And I thought, oh, well, I don't have COVID-19, so what's going on? But, they gave me some antibiotics, but I didn't see any improvement. So after a week of taking my antibiotics and there wasn't any improvement, I actually decided to go for a COVID-19 test. And when the test results came back, it tested positive. It was a bit of a shock to me, because I had done, the rapid test. But when I went for the PCR test, which is the one that they do the swab in the nose, that's when it came out positive. So I wasn't ready to actually accept that I had gotten COVID-19. And I was now thinking about everyone else at home, because I stay with my family members. Did they actually get it as well? Did I spread it to anyone else? I wasn't too sure. So it was a bit of a scare. But with family support, it made the journey a little bit easier. When I found out that I had COVID-19, I started taking different measures, to make sure that I could combat it. So I would take, natural teas, that's what I would take on a daily basis. I would also take some honey. I would eat raw garlic, raw ginger, raw onion every day. I would also steam kunatira. That's what I would do, and I would do this about 5 times a day. So it was a constant 2 weeks of me doing this. After 2 weeks, I went back, and my results came back negative. However, I was still experiencing symptoms, because I still had a sore chest, and I also had the headache as well, which is terrible because the headache doesn't go away. It's constant. No matter how much you drink your painkillers, it became an emotional toll on me, because emotionally, I was now asking myself, am I ever going to get better? Is this ever going to come to an end? What am I supposed to do? I was now worried about everyone else at home. Am I spreading it? But, I read a little bit more about COVID-19 so that I could actually get to understand what you actually go through. And I noticed that you can actually test negative and still experience some symptoms of COVID-19. Also, you can move around the house and do certain household chores so long you wear your mask, okay? And also constantly sanitize your hands as well. I know a lot of people think that once you're in close proximity with someone who has COVID-19, it's disastrous, that's the end of it. But no, if you regularly wear your mask, okay, and also if you stay with someone who has COVID-19, wear your mask regularly when you're talking to them or when you're in close proximity to them. Make sure you also maintain that 1 meter distance between the person who has COVID-19, and you're guaranteed that you won't spread it. So my experience was a bit, emotional. I remember the one day I cried. I cried so much. I woke up, I was tired emotionally, mentally, physically. I didn't want to get out of bed. I cried for about an hour, because I was thinking to myself, what's going on? Is this ever going to end? And emotionally, it takes a toll on your mind, because imagine you're constantly taking your herbs, okay? Your garlic, your raw ginger, your onion, it becomes tiring, okay? And also, even the steaming, kunatira kwachu, it becomes tiring. You're thinking, I have to do this almost every hour. I have to do this, constantly 5 times a day. This is too much for me. So it became too much for me. I cried. But because I had family support, because I had family and friends who came through and supported me through this time, I managed to talk about my experience. I want to say, don't be scared to talk about COVID-19. Ask people, what should I do? What can I do to actually feel better? You can actually survive it so long, you stay mentally strong. And your friends and your family, those who are close to you, are the most important thing. The other thing that you'll experience with COVID-19 is stigma. There's a lot of stigma surrounding it. People are scared. And it's only natural to be scared because there's no vaccination at the moment. They're still trying to come up with something that people can use. So you're only naturally scared because you've been hearing, about COVID-19 and about the deaths and what people get to experience. So the stigma is real. People don't want to talk to you. They don't want to come see you. Even if you tell them, listen, I'm no longer positive. I tested negative for COVID-19. They don't want to be in close proximity to you. They're thinking, Rachel, COVID-19. But no, that's not the case. You can actually talk to someone with COVID-19 if they're wearing a mask, if you're wearing a mask, and if you're also maintaining that social distance. So I wanted to share my experience with you. And if you feel like you need someone to talk to, you can always get in touch with me. I'll be able to talk to you about your experience with COVID-19. You can always go to my social media pages at Miss Rach Zim, which is MISSRACHZIM. Come through to my inbox, say, Rachel, I have tested positive for COVID-19. I need someone to talk to. Or, you just want to hear my story and how best you can combat it. I'll be able to assist you with that.